Good morning. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commanding General and Command Sergeant Major of the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence in Fort Rucker, Major General Claire A. Gill and Command Sergeant Major Ruben A. Davila, and the Commandant of the Non-Commissioned Officers Academy, Command Sergeant Major Jermaine Baldwin, we welcome you to the graduation ceremony of the 15th Series Career Management Field Senior Leader Course. Please feel free to come forward and take pictures at any time other than during the opening ceremony and the playing of honors. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Staff Sergeant Walter Bickers and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Please bow your heads. Almighty Creator, we pause to ask for your blessing upon the men and women of this non-commissioned officer graduating class. Thank you for the new insights and knowledge they have gained. Thank you for their commitment to lead the way in the cause of freedom. Thank you for the dedicated teachers and mentors who have had the opportunity to instruct and share with them over the past several weeks. Grant each graduate wisdom to apply themselves to the challenges that lie ahead. May they rise to every occasion to lead the professionalism and honor. We ask for your protection, courage, and watch care for all our deployed comrades, especially those in harm's way. Give their families faith and comfort as they watch and pray. Touch the hearts of those moms, dads, spouses, children, and friends who have received the sad news that their loved ones have paid the ultimate sacrifice. And now, Lord, stir our hearts together. Strengthen this class and each of us to meet every challenge and every threat that waits to confront us. God bless America. Amen.
Please be seated. The mission of the Senior Leader course is to develop within the non-commissioned officers of the aviation branch those characteristics and leadership traits that ensure the necessary competence, self-confidence, and sense of responsibility required of military leaders. These courses accomplish this by developing an understanding of their responsibilities as leaders, self-confidence in their technical and tactical abilities, the ability to effectively communicate with seniors and subordinates, and the high professional standards of the non-commissioned officer corps. These leadership traits enhance their ability to maintain discipline in the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commandant of the AVCOE NCOA Academy, Command Sergeant Major Jermaine Baldwin.
Everybody can hear me? Oh yeah, definitely can hear me. Oh. Good morning. Yeah, it's still morning. Hey, the NCOA, we are juggernauts. I am a juggernaut. Welcome, you all this morning, all the family and the friends that came out to this great event. Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the non-commissioned officers course, SLC class 26-004. First, I would like to thank AUSA, USAA, First Command, Sergeant Artie Murphy Club, V2X, and the Wiregrass Sergeant Major Association for their continued support, sponsorship of the awards program that we have running here. The Academy and the recipients appreciate your recognition of their achievements. I'd also like to recognize the soldiers and the civilians that make the Aviation Center of Excellence NCO Academy a top-tier center. To the esteemed cadre and the SGLs, I extend my heartfelt gratitude for your unwavering professionalism and commitment to duty. Your pride and discipline, coupled with the relentless pursuit of progress and continuous improvement, exemplify the essence of what it means to be a professional non-commissioned officer. Thank you for your countless contributions you make behind the scenes and for your selfless dedication. You embody the true spirit of professional leaders and resiliency. Your determination to surpass yesterday's achievements is reflected in the stellar reputation you have cultivated and the accountability you uphold for one another. Because of each of you, this academy is producing some of the finest aviation NCOs our Army has to offer. Please join me in a round of applause for them. I would like to also express my appreciation to the Aviation Center of Excellence staff, the TID, 1AB, 1st to the 145th, and of course Garrison Command for their continued support. Now to our graduates. Throughout your journey, the premier non-commissioned officer academy in the Army, you have confronted physical, mental, and academic challenges head on. Over the past weeks, your leadership skills, technical expertise, and tactical acumen have been rigorously tested, ensuring you are equipped to be agile, adaptive, and ready to enhance warfighting readiness at your home station. As you step into your future leadership roles, remember that there are only two categories of soldiers. There is the junior enlisted and the officer. There are warrant officers, there are commissioned officers, and then there's us, the non-commissioned officer. We are the catalyst and the driving force that will propel our nation's sons and daughters forward in large-scale combat and multi-domain operations. You have demonstrated your passion, capability, and competence as leaders in both tactical and technical arenas. Your motivation, professionalism, and performance, both on and off duty, have been exemplary. You entered the academy to learn, and now you are more than prepared to lead. On behalf of the cadre and the entire Aviation Center of Excellence team, thank you for your dedicated service to our soldiers, their families, the Army, and our great nation. Now to introduce our guest speaker. He has served in our Army with pride and distinction for over 27 years. He is a 15 Romeo, Patchy guy, by trade, who has served our country, our Army, and our soldiers across the globe, both in garrison and while deployed. He currently serves as the Command Sergeant Major for both the Air Traffic Service Command, ADSCOM, and the 164th Theater Airfield Operations Group. He's got a lot of work to do. And they're here on Fort Rucker. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Nicholas Burney.
I had to use big font because I didn't want to break my glasses in front of y'all. Good morning and going into the afternoon. Distinguished guests, instructors, family members, and most importantly, the graduates of the 15 Series SLC Class 26-004. Today marks a significant milestone in your professional journey. You arrived here as experienced maintainers and leaders. You leave as seniors, leaders charged with shaping the future of Army aviation maintenance, developing soldiers, and ensuring mission readiness in the most demanding environments. Maintenance is often unseen, but it is never unimportant. Aircraft do not fly on hope and intent alone. They fly because of disciplined systems, technical expertise, and leaders who refuse to accept failure. Every hour you spend training, inspecting, mentoring, and enforcing standards directly translates into combat power, survivability, and mission success. In many ways, the work you do determines whether soldiers come home safely. This course challenges you to think beyond tools and technical manuals. You are pushed to think strategically, to lead organizations, to manage resources, and to make decisions that affect lives, equipment, and the mission. You learn that senior leadership is not about authority, it is about responsibility. It is more setting the example, enforcing standards, developing your people, and taking ownership when things go wrong. As you move forward, remember that your soldiers will watch what you do far more than what you say. They will model your discipline, your professionalism, and your commitment to excellence. Be the leader who never compromises on safety, who mentors relentlessly, and who understands that every maintenance action has operational consequences. To the instructors and cadre, thank you for your dedication to developing this next generation of aviation leaders. Your experience and commitment ensure that our force remains lethal, ready, and professional. To the families and supporters, your sacrifice may make moments like this possible. Your encouragement and understanding allow these leaders to serve and succeed. Graduates, you now join a select group of senior leaders. Carry this responsibility with pride, lead with integrity, demand excellence, develop your soldiers, and never forget that the mission, the aircraft, and the people depend on you. Congratulations on your accomplishment. Thank you for what you do for our Army and our nation. Above the best, freedom's voice.
Today, we are honoring all NCOs of Cycle 26004 who have successfully completed Senior Leader course. As the graduates identify themselves today, you will hear select students identify their placement on the Commandant's list. Placement is determined by those who meet stringent requirements of the honors program and is limited to the top 20% of the graduating class. All students receiving honors will have their achievements annotated on their academic records. The graduates will now receive their diplomas. Immediately following, we will recognize individual achievements and awards. The SGL and graduates of 15 Charlie Whiskey, SLC.
Staff Sergeant Dolphin, small group leader.
Staff Sergeant Atkins, Columbus, Ohio Recruiting Battalion.
Staff Sergeant Franklin, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Staff Sergeant Gonzalez, Fort Hood, Texas. Staff Sergeant Jacobs, Hunter Army Airfield, Georgia, Commandant's list. Staff Sergeant Min, Camp Humphreys, South Korea.
Staff Sergeant Porter, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Staff Sergeant Ramsey, Fort Riley, Kansas.
Staff Sergeant Reyes, Hunter Army Airfield, Georgia.
The SGL and graduates of 15 Maintenance SLC, 1st Platoon.
Sergeant First Class Ott, small group leader.
Staff Sergeant Cassidy Brown, Fort Eustis, Virginia.
Staff Sergeant Dene, Fort Carson, Colorado. Sergeant First Class Feliciano, Fort Bliss, Texas. Staff Sergeant Hurtado, Southern California Recruiting Battalion.
Sergeant First Class Lopez, Camp Humphreys, South Korea.
Sergeant First Class Quevedo, Fort Carson, Colorado.
The SGL and graduates of 15 Maintenance SLC, 2nd Platoon.
Sergeant First Class Bannister, small group leader. Staff Sergeant Algieri, Fort Rucker, Alabama.
Staff Sergeant Miller, Joint Base Lewis McCord, Washington.
Staff Sergeant Nichols, Fort Drum, New York.
Staff Sergeant Singleton, Hunter Army Airfield, Georgia.
Staff Sergeant Hill, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington.
The SGL and graduates of 15 Maintenance SLC, 3rd Platoon.
Staff Sergeant McKenzie, small group leader.
Staff Sergeant Dennis, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Staff Sergeant Harada, Joint Base Langley Eustis, Virginia.
Staff Sergeant Howard, Fort Wainwright, Alaska, Commandant's list. Staff Sergeant Kemp, Fort Rucker, Alabama. Staff Sergeant Massey, Joint Base Langley Eustis, Virginia.
Staff Sergeant Mendoza, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington.
Staff Sergeant Phillips, Fort Carson, Colorado.
Staff Sergeant Porter, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
The SGL and graduates of 15 Maintenance SLC, 4th Platoon.
Sergeant First Class Chapman, small group leader. Staff Sergeant Antunes, New York National Guard.
Staff Sergeant Bickers, Joint Base Lewis McChord, Washington.
Sergeant First Class Bowen, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Staff Sergeant Buxell, New York National Guard.
Sergeant First Class Castanon, Under Army Airfield, Georgia.
Staff Sergeant Chesky, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Staff Sergeant Simpson, Fort Rucker, Alabama.
Sergeant First Class Wood, Fort Riley, Kansas, Commandant's list.
Please remain seated for the following awards. Distinguished honor graduates are students that achieved the top GPA in the graduating class and have met all honors program requirements. Distinguished honor graduates will receive an Army Achievement Medal, a letter of congratulations from the branch Command Sergeant Major, and a plaque sponsored by the Association of the United States Army, presented by the Commandant and Sergeant Major Retired Otis Smith. In recognition of their accomplishments, the following non-commissioned officers are the distinguished honor graduates. Staff Sergeant Emmanuel Bett, 15 Maintenance SLC, 3rd Platoon. Staff Sergeant Jacob Green, 15 Charlie Whiskey SLC. Staff Sergeant Tyler Skomel, 15 Maintenance SLC, 4th Platoon. Staff Sergeant Wilson Sierra, 15 Maintenance SLC, 1st Platoon. Sergeant First Class Krista Lee, 15 Maintenance SLC, 2nd Platoon. The Iron Sergeant competition is a grueling physical challenge that requires students to compete in multiple physical events. The winner is the student that completes all events in the fastest time. The Commandant will present a certificate and token of recognition on behalf of First Command to the Iron Sergeant winners. Sergeant First Class Krista Lee, 15 Maintenance SLC, 2nd Platoon. Sergeant First Class Daniel Hernandez Munoz, 15 Maintenance SLC, 1st Platoon. The Iron Squad competition is a physical team challenge that requires team communication, physical, and mental toughness. The winning team is a team that exemplifies all of these traits and completes all events in the fastest time. The Commandant will present certificates and tokens of recognition on behalf of First Command to the Iron Squad winners. Sergeant First Class Daniel Hernandez Munoz. Staff Sergeant Kirtley Charles. Staff Sergeant Eddie Cuevas. Sergeant First Class Benjamin McIntyre. Staff Sergeant Wilson Sierra, 15 Maintenance SLC, 1st Platoon. The Commandant's inspection involves students from each class nominated by their small group leader. On inspection day, the Commandant evaluates the appearance and general military knowledge of all nominees and personally selects the top performer. Today, on behalf of USAA, the Commandant will present a certificate of achievement and a gift card for $50 as a token of recognition to the Commandant's inspection winner. Staff Sergeant Wilson Sierra, 15 Maintenance SLC, 1st Platoon. The Professional Writing Award is presented to the students who distinguish themselves by demonstrating outstanding research and writing ability. On behalf of the Sergeant Audi Murphy Club, Staff Sergeant Matthew McKenzie will present a personalized writing utensil set and a certificate of achievement to the winner. The recipient of the Non-Commissioned Officer Academy Professional Writing Award is Staff Sergeant Corby Sears, 15 Maintenance SLC, 2nd Platoon. The Physical Fitness Award is presented to the student who showcased the highest overall achievement based on their Army Fitness Test score. On behalf of USAA, the Commandant will present a coin and a certificate of achievement to the Physical Fitness Award winner for Cycle 26004 with an AFT score of 483. The recipient for this award is Staff Sergeant Eddie Cuevas, 15 Maintenance SLC, 1st Platoon. Every cycle, we like to identify a singular individual who has gone above and beyond. For Cycle 26004, the competition was fierce. Each nominee exemplified the professionalism, dedication, and commitment to developing future leaders, creating a highly competitive environment that reflects the strength of our academy. V2X has graciously sponsored this award, providing the winner with a plaque and a $50 gift card. Please hold your applause until after the Commandant's comments. At this time, the Student First Sergeant will present our guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Nicholas Burney, with a token of recognition to thank him for sharing his wisdoms and words of encouragement with them.
Sergeant Major, on behalf of class, I want to thank you for your words of wisdom and encouragement.
The Student First Sergeant will now lead the class in reciting the Creed of the Non-Commissioned Officer.
The Creed of the Non-Commissioned Officer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join us in the singing of the Aviation Branch Song and the Army Song. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the graduates of Cycle 26004. On behalf of the graduates and cadre of the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, we thank you for attending. This concludes today's ceremony.